guys, it's Emma and I'm back today for you with another video, and today I'm going to be recommending books to the Koga girlies, alright, from Inuyasha. Any fans of Koga, alright, read these damn books. Inuyasha is like my favorite anime just of all time. I love that show so much, and Koga, apart from being literally one of my favorite characters off of the show, he's also one of my favorite men in anime in general, alright? I may or may not be head over heels in love with him, okay? So any of y'all need to back the hell off, or at least get in the back of the line. Is it healthy to like Koga? No. But do I care? Also no. Okay, he's sassy, he's funny, he's hot. It might be the ponytail. That's a conversation for another day. All of the books that I have here for you guys today are books that I think either work really well for Koga, just in general as a character, or for any of his arcs that he goes on in Inuyasha, okay? Because my man does a lot of shit in that show. Before we start, I would really appreciate it if you guys would look down in the description box for all the links there that I have for you guys pertaining to stuff going on in the world right now. For example, what's going on in Gaza, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Sudan, Myanmar, Haiti, everything of the sort. Those links will be down there for you guys to look at and to share. And then down in the comment section, let me know whether you guys like Inuyasha, if Koga is your favorite character, who your favorite anime crush is, whether you think that any of my recommendations are valid, the works, right? So with that being said, let's just get right on into it. Okay, so the first book that I want to recommend to fans of Koga is Elfquest by Wendy Pini. Alright, this is about Cutter and the Wolf Riders, and they have been driven out of their home by humans, and on their journey to find a new home, they come across other tribes of elves and monsters that they've never even imagined. I want to recommend this to fans of Koga because it's fantasy, and the Wolf Riders ride wolves. You know, they use wolf companions just like the wolf demons do. Also, just like the wolf demons, they are huntsmen and woodsmen. They're not the best characters. Okay, some of them do some very questionable stuff, and just like Koga does, however, like Koga and the wolf demons, the wolf riders are loyal to one another to a T. The bulk of this book, and one of the main reasons why I want to recommend this to fans of Koga, is that it's mostly about Cutter, the chief of the wolf riders, just trying to make sure that his clan not only stays together, but survives and is prosperous. And that's essentially what Koga does for his wolf demon clan, alright? Now, he does it in very questionable ways, but at the end of the day, both Cutter and Koga are just trying to, one, keep their respective clans safe from humans, whom they both have beef with, alright? The humans in Elfquest see the elves as demons, and then the humans in Inuyasha obviously see the wolf demons as demons, you know, so both of these respective clans are at odds with humans, and the respective chiefs of these respective clans are also just trying to keep their clanmates together and safe and prosperous. Alright, I would say that if you are a fan of the style and possibly the atmosphere of Conan the Barbarian, Red Sonja, Xena the Warrior Princess, this would definitely be up your alley. Next, I would like to recommend to fans of Koga, Empire of Wild by Cherie Dimaline. Alright, this is about Joan, whose husband Victor has been missing for like a while, I think like a year. She can't find him until she in fact does find him in a Walmart parking lot in a revival style tent, alright, going by the name Reverend Wolf, and he does not recognize her at all. And so, because she thinks that there is something evil attached to him, obviously making him forget her and just exactly who he is, she enlists the help of an elder in her community and her nephew in order to try and get her husband back. The main reason why I want to recommend this is because it's a werewolf story, alright? I love me a good werewolf story, and obviously wolf demons, werewolves, kind of the same category, alright? Supernatural with wolves. And then another reason why I want to recommend this is because it's Joan trying to save Victor, which kind of flips the whole thing of Koga always trying to save Kagome, and actually when Kagome does save Koga, as few times as that actually happens, alright, I just really like that dynamic. This is such a cool blending of Métis and Bavarian cultures, alright? It's such a unique werewolf story. So I would say if you're a fan of werewolf books, particularly like me, this is gonna be really cool for you. The next book that I would like to recommend to people who like Koga is Twisted Lies by Huang. This is the 4th book in the Twisted series. I personally don't think you have to read all of them. This follows Christian and Stella. Stella is an influencer who's trying to get to a specific number of followers so that then she has enough money and enough attention to push out this boutique idea that she's wanted for forever. And Christian is the CEO of a security company, and he lives in the same building as Stella does. In fact, he owns it, okay? And so when Stella's stalker gets really, really aggressive, she comes to him for help. And he's like, okay, girl, how about this? You essentially stay in my apartment. That way, you know, you'll probably be the safest that you'll ever be. And I will pretend to date you so that way you can get that influx of followers you're looking for so that you can start your boutique. And their relationship kind of builds from there. Christian is incredibly protective of Stella, all right, just like Koga is with Kagome all the time. It's very much a you touch her and you die aspect, okay? Like, Christian is literally obsessed with Stella. Like, the second he sees her, okay, this guy is thinking to himself, dude, this woman is literally running circles around my brain wrinkles. I can't. Not gonna lie, it does get a little smothering, okay? With just how protective he is over her, okay? And same thing with Koga and Kagome. It's like, dude, let her breathe. Damn. Nevertheless, the tension in this book is so thick you could cut through it with a knife. It's a slow burn, it makes you wait for it. And it's fake dating, which I normally don't particularly care for that trope. That's not going to be a romance trope that I'm going to be like, oh no, this is fake dating. I don't need to read anything else. You know what I mean? But this book, I think, does it in a way to where it's not one of the most annoying things I've ever read. Just wow, the tension in this book is really the one thing that blows everybody else out of the water. Next, I want to recommend to everybody who likes Koga Mongrels by Stephen Graham Jones. This is a kind of nonchalant horror story about a family who happens to be werewolves, just trying to survive, essentially, and keep each other afloat. And that's really the main reason why I want to recommend this. It's just this family or troop of werewolves who are just trying to keep their heads above water, which is the same thing that Koga and the wolf demons do. Granted, like I said, they do it in pretty questionable ways. This book, like I said, is a very nonchalant horror. I honestly hesitate to even call it horror. It's the really only horror aspect of this is just that they're werewolves, right? But this is genuinely just a family who happens to be werewolves. That's how kind of every day the atmosphere of this book seems. But nevertheless, I think that if you are a fan, again, of werewolf books, and are a fan particularly of Stephen Graham Jones, definitely check this out. A gift that I would like to give to fans of Koga is Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. This is about Evangeline, whose love of her life is going off to marry some other girl. And so she goes to one of the deities of this land called the Fates, who calls himself Jax, to essentially be like, yeah, no, I need you to break these bitches up. Okay? And in return, I'll do whatever you want. And so in making this bargain to stop the wedding, Jax is like, oh, okay, sure. But in exchange, I need 3 kisses from you that are going to be given at random points when I ask. And in doing this bargain and everything else that unfolds, Evangeline realizes that she is a part of something bigger than just this tiny little bargain. I would like to recommend this mostly because of like the arc things that go on with Koga in the show, and one of them majorly being when Koga first meets Kagome and he realizes that she can sense jewel shards, that she can like see them, and he essentially uses her like a metal detector, particularly against the birds of paradise. Both Jax and Koga use Evangeline and Kagome respectively as vessels in a way to get what they want. Also, I want to recommend this because it's the villain and the heroine, you know what I mean? It's Koga, who is slated to be the villain when we meet him, with Kagome, who's the heroine, and then it's Jax, who's slated to be the villain when we meet him, and then Evangeline, who's the heroine, you know, the unlikely romantic tragedy. And also, because both female main characters are wrapped up in prophecy, Evangeline, because there actually is like a named prophecy that she is a part of, because of course, and because Kagome is the reincarnated version of Kikyo. I would say that if you are a fan of really whimsical fairy tale type books, this series is definitely gonna take you on a ride. I recommended this next book in my Inuyasha recommendations video. So So I think particularly if you like Koga, this book still stands true, all right? And that's The Adventures of Amina al-Sirafi by Shannon Chakraborty. All right, this is about retired infamous pirate Amina al-Sirafi, and she's just trying to, you know, live a nice, quiet, retiree life until this old woman comes up to her with a proposition, hey, I need you to go and rescue my granddaughter who's essentially been kidnapped by this sorcerer, and it's going to be a favor to me because my son was one of your prior crewmates who died on one of your last adventures, so you kind of owe me this, girl. And so Amina's like, all right, word. And so it's all about Amina trying to get the band back together and going on this one last adventure to save this girl. There is a part in Inuyasha where a huge portion of the wolf demon tribe gets wiped out by Kagura the sorceress. All right, and Koga, obviously because he is loyal to his comrades, goes after her on a very specific revenge mission, all right, for his fallen comrades. And I want to recommend this book because Amina similarly goes on this quest as a favor for a fallen comrade, all right? So there's not as much of a revenge arc really in this one, but there is that sense of, okay, no, I'm doing this for a fallen crew member. Also, because of who they're both respectively going after, right? Koga is going after the wind sorceress Kagura, and Amina is going after a sorcerer. Both of them obviously deal in magic and are both the villains, all right? This book is hilarious. The friend group in here is phenomenal. There's so much magic and there are so many mythical creatures put in this book. It's so much fun, okay? So, like I said in my Inuyasha recommendations video, I think if you like Inuyasha in general, you'll love this book, and particularly Koga, I think you'll have such a good damn time with this book. Lastly, I think, personally, that if you are a fan of my main man, okay? If you are a personal fan of Koga, I think that you will thoroughly enjoy The Bullet Swallower by Elizabeth Gonzales James. All right, this follows dual timelines, okay? We have Antonio in 1890s Mexico who goes to rob a train and his brother is killed in the process. And so he goes on a revenge mission to take out the Rangers that murdered his brother. And then we have 1960s Mexico following Jaime, who gets a book mysteriously chronicling the entire lineage of his family and all of the evil that is intertwined in its family members. And when he meets a very mysterious stranger that is being coincidentally chronicled along with his family throughout history, he starts to wonder if he will have to pay for the sins of his entire family tree. Look, the main reason why I want to recommend The Bullet Swallower, all right, is because it's a revenge story. You have Antonio going to avenge his murdered brother, and then in Inuyasha, you have Koga trying to avenge his murdered comrades. Also, this book is dual timeline, like I said, and Inuyasha is dual timeline as well, along with the fact that neither Koga nor Antonio are amazing people. They both have pretty wavering moral compasses and will do just about anything to get what they need to do done. Particularly with Antonio, while Koga is naturally supernatural, alright, he's a wolf demon, Antonio is seen as demonic or otherworldly because of his reputation and what he ends up doing in this book. Listen, I am always going to love a revenge story, no matter what. I eat this up, and particularly this, I think, does not only a revenge plot, but also just the themes of grief and anger and generational trauma in general. I think this book covers all of these things and does them so well. So if you're like me, where it's like, I'm a simple person, I see cowboy book, I read it, you know? If you're like that, I think you're definitely gonna enjoy this. I particularly love the Western genre, you know, cowboys, gunfighters, everything of the sort. This book will definitely be up your alley if you're a fan of that as well. So you guys, these are all of the books that I would recommend to Koga fans. I hope that you've enjoyed. I hope that you guys will take some of these recommendations because obviously if I didn't like these books, I would not be recommending them to y'all. All of these in one way, shape, or form, I firmly believe correspond with Koga. Okay, so you guys, with that being said, I hope that you've enjoyed. I hope that you continue to look out for more stuff on my channel. I hope that you guys are staying safe. And lastly, I hope that you guys have a good rest of your day. Goodbye.